Hello. This is part 2 of mansplaining a woman's worth. But before I channel about that, specifically about how women can take their power back regarding this situation of mansplaining that is so common and such an issue. But first, they wanted me to tell you that last night I guided my son through a hypnotic not regression. Yeah, it was like I just relaxed him so that we could implant his geography test answers into his subconscious. And I just sort of like pulled everything together from what I've studied. And he had an out-of-body experience. So after he woke up, he was like, "Mom, you do not know what just happened." I was like, my POV was above my body, like 3 feet. And POV, point of view, it's a Fortnite term. I know. Life is real. So anyway, that was really exciting. I can't wait to see what happens with that and where that goes. But okay, back to this topic. So the mansplaining thing, what I have been picking up over the last 24 hours that I decided to make a second part was that they said in the last video, change to this phenomenon begins with the woman. And I love that because that means the power is in our hands to not be victims. And so I thought about that more and I was like, how is that the case that we don't have to be victims? And then I realized that like the reason you're annoyed by mansplaining is because you believe what they're saying. You're going along with it somehow, and it's not like you really believe that women don't deserve a voice, but you are also programmed in the same way. So when they're acting like women don't deserve to have a voice, and part of you believes women don't deserve to have a voice, but it really doesn't feel good, that's why you're triggered, because you believe it too. And it's not because you believe it because there's any evidence of it. You just believe it because it was told to you again and again, and you saw it demonstrated by the people around you. So I have no idea what direction they're going to go. I'm learning about this through my relationships, all of my relationships. And now they're saying this general idea that everything that triggers us, it's to show us about ourselves. I have this kid who behavior challenges are just like insane. And I was like, why? Well, I have 5. Couldn't you just make them easy? You've got one that's as difficult as the other 4. And they're like, "Kelly, he's showing you the chaos inside you." Like they told me that 5 years ago. And I was like, that's not true. He's just being difficult. So I've sat with that. And now I'm realizing that when I get triggered, it's a cleansing. It's something coming to the surface to be looked at and taken accountability for, a belief that I have that doesn't resonate with me. So I kind of thought they were going to talk about all this. Now you can go ahead and pick up from there, Rosalind Jocelyn. Dear Kelly, you know, you used to raise your frequency because you wanted to be able to channel. And that was excellent. I mean, of course, that's a great idea. But now you understand that you can already channel at will, just by giving us the faith that we will say something. Every time you record something, it's channeling, and you're like, I want to keep it because I actually channeled something. And then every time you record again, wondering if it's going to happen. It was not guaranteed. There's nothing guaranteed in the 5D because it's all like, it's all possibility. You're in a realm of possibility in the 5D. And I'm under this beautiful tree, by the way. Look at this. I'm meditating under a tree. I can channel here. I feel like this is a safe place to publicly channel under this tree. You're in a realm of possibility in the 5D. So you can't prove anything. And I totally forget what I was saying. Okay, yeah, you were like, I need to raise my frequency so that I can channel, but no, you're already channeling. Now, the intention of raising your frequency is to clean out all of the calcification of your pineal gland, clean out all the trauma from your vagus nerve, clean out the toxins so that you can be a clear vessel for your highest version and being able to hold the energy frequency of your highest version. Well, immediately their words just made me imagine my highest version in my body, because when you're holding an energetic frequency, you got to hold it physically. You got to be able to feel it. And your highest frequency is going to be expansive joy. How much joy can you hold? This is the challenge that we are presenting to you, Kelly. How much frequency of joy can you hold? Guess what? It's ever expanding. It's ever expanding. You're just going to follow joy until you're no longer physical. So, yes, mansplaining is an opportunity for women to realize that they don't value themselves either. The men aren't valuing your opinion because you don't value your own opinion. You know, Kelly's noticed for a long time that she doesn't have much of a spine with her kids. She lets them get away with everything. She's so soft, and she knows that this is like a Gen X thing where we're too soft on our kids. And she's like, I know what I'm doing, but I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change from the inside. And so she went into that, like, inside. She went inside and she's like, what is going on in here? Why do I have these habits and these subconscious things that keep me in these patterns? Why? They don't feel good. And then when you're complaining about that negativity in your body, that's okay, because that complaining makes you aware of it. Now that you're aware of it, you got to go to your guides, you go to your intuition, go to your prayer, go to your therapist, go somewhere and say, what do I do about it? Help me. And then you raise your frequency and you listen. All right. So this is an invitation to women to find your value. Okay. It is your value. First of all, let's practice the Socratic method. Ask yourself some questions. Is your value dependent on how much money you make? Is your value dependent on the behavior and the external presentation of your children's behavior in the public? Does your value rely on your ability to clean the house? Does your value rely on your ability to be clean and sober? Are you only valuable if you're clean and sober? Or are you inherently valuable because you're on Earth right now and you're lucky to be on Earth right now? You're lucky to open your eyes and see the world from on that planet. You have no idea how lucky you are to be on Earth right now. Just by being born, we don't care what you did in the 3D. You brought your energy to Earth and your consciousness gave it life. Your consciousness joined with that physical body to exist. And just by existing, your computer system of your Akashic records is downloading and interacting with the Earth's third dimensional matrix story. Okay, the matrix is kind of like today's version of Earth's Akashic records. Okay, Akashic records are living right now. And their future and the past is changing with every decision that you make. Kelly learned a long time ago with Reiki that you can take it backwards in time and forward in time. And she did this thing where she took her kid, her oldest daughter, Galia, and she began her mind imagining at the beginning of Galia's life while Kelly was pregnant. You could even go back to pre-pregnancy and you could just send light and blessings to Kelly and Galia, pre-pregnancy through the current day, through into the future. Go ahead. It's a blessing of her whole life. And this can heal things that happened in the past. So when Kelly did this, she would highlight key points in Galia's life where things Kelly felt guilty about were happening. And she just shone light. She shined light on that event in her mind, and she forgave herself just by intention. She forgave Galia. You know, we used to get forgiveness by paying priests for it. But guess what? You can just be forgiven immediately in your own mind. You can forgive yourself, because that guilt, first of all, whatever you did, you had a reason for doing it. Either you were traumatized and became a bully, you know, victims become bullies. So re-victimizing bullies isn't going to heal anything. Compassion is the only thing that heals. So that's why love is the most powerful thing, because once you heal with self-love and forgiveness and mercy and all that, you become unlimited. You become a portal that's able to hold your highest frequency. The guilt holds you back. Energetically, everything begins energetically before it becomes physical. That's why I can feel, I'm channeling for this video right now, I am pulling from the consciousness of anybody who will ever eventually watch this video in the future. Whoever watches this video in the future is participating and contributing in my head to the questions that I'm asking my spirit guides, to the direction that their message makes me go with my mind, with my thinking. Just like in a conversation with someone asks you a question or tells you something, you have a reaction, a response to it. I'm responding to my guides with the consciousness of anybody who watches this video in the future. So that's why I might be answering questions for you, because you're contributing to the energetic field through which this channeling is occurring. So the whole reason we're saying this is because when you ground and raise your frequency, Kelly, the reason why you're now realizing how important that is, it's not to start channeling, it's to hold the message of more and more and more consciousness, more and more and more light. So all the people that might eventually watch this video, I'm having to hold their frequency of all of that energy, of all that light, of all that consciousness in my body. And I can only hold it authentically and accurately for the correct answer that is of the highest possible loving frequency available if my body's clean to a certain degree. So now I understand physically why I have to stop drinking coffee. That's all I had this morning was coffee, and my body is jittery, and I can't hold this frequency with a jittery body. My nervous system can't hold both, or it's limited. And if I want to expand a little more, I got to be clean. Even that, it matters. So this was really supposed to be about mansplaining. Well, mansplaining is just a symptom. Okay, it's a symptom of a woman and her worth. And we asked you, where does your worth come from? And we told you that your worth comes from just being alive, existing. And so you got to look at